Hello, and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Hi, my name is Andrew, and it's good to have you here with me today. Folks, we have another monumental occasion here on the I've Seen Everything channel. Today is the first time we've had a favorite movie voted to win our movie poll. With 53% of the vote, Green Mile won by a landslide. It wasn't even close. And there were some other good movies in there, movies that we will get back to on this channel, I guarantee it, like Men's Warehouse. But today, together, we're going to go back to what I'm sure for all of us is a classic movie, The Green Mile. I remember seeing The Green Mile in the theater when it came out in 2000. I had no idea what I was walking into. I had never heard of the story before. I just saw Stephen King on the poster, and I thought, well, Stephen King usually tells scary stories, so maybe this story is somehow going to be scary. Well, there's some fantasy elements to the movie, sure. I don't know if there's anything that you would specifically say is scary. There's some horrific moments, but I never knew that Stephen King did drama. And boy, howdy did he. Did I say that right? Boy, howdy did he. Okay. But more than Stephen King, The Green Mile, I think, owes a fair amount of its success to a director named Frank Darabont, who also happened to direct The Shawshank Redemption, which is another huge dramatic film that a lot of people love out here on Movie Reactions. So I don't have to tell you what we're getting into here today. A little bit of Mr. John Coffey. The Green Mile, 1999, starring Tom Hanks and the late, great Michael Clarke Duncan. I don't remember exactly how long it was after this that he passed away. I just remember it being very, very sad, and that he was far too young, and he was an amazing actor. He gave us so many great performances, and this is certainly one of his best. So I'm looking forward to it. You're looking forward to it. It's why you're here. You love this movie. I love this movie. Let's watch this movie. But before we get into it, if you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And here we go, 1999's The Green Mile. Castle Rock Entertainment. A dead giveaway that a Stephen King production is headed your direction. It's never a good sign when you have people wandering through foliage with guns.
You love your sister. You make it noise and nothing happens.
I didn't remember that. I didn't remember hearing that this early. That would make sense. Still haunts him all this time later.
Some Danish this morning?
2 pieces of dry toast, I think.
Same as always.
Hey, everyone's got their preferences, man. I don't like toast that way, but...
Don't let Nurse Godzilla catch you. She'll raise holy hell. You know we're not supposed to let you wander off.
That would be kind of terrifying. You have people that you're caring for, and I mean, anything could happen to them out there. They're on their own. It's funny considering what his career was. Him kind of sneaking off, escaping, as it were. Wonder if we ever find out, maybe they're about to say here. I mean, it's obviously some kind of tool shed kind of thing or something. I don't know who uses it or for what, that he's been able to go out there all this time without anyone catching him, you know?
Why do we always watch this stuff? All they ever talk about is...
I didn't remember dropping an F-bomb this early.
You're wearing yourself out with those walks every day, that's what I think.
I just didn't sleep well's all.
I wonder if there's a reason he's doing the walks more now. It seems like it's only now people are noticing him. Presumably, he would have been doing them for quite a while. Yeah. This is going to be rough. If there's anybody who thinks that this still isn't going to make me cry, you haven't been watching this channel very long. But there's something about music, you know? So his reaction here is perfect. It just brings you right back there.
Oh, what is it?
And there's something about elderly people crying too. It just... I would imagine that's fairly common in situations like this. It's just you have so many people that have had such long lives, so many memories, hard memories, you know. You never know what's going to spark something like that.
Was it the film?
He's got quite a story to tell.
Did I mention that I was in charge of death row, that I supervised all the executions?
Jeez, what a job to have. Imagine that.
Oh, I've lived a lot of years, Elliot. 1935. It takes the prize.
Yeah? Be hard to ever forget a year like that.
That year, I had the worst urinary infection of my life.
And that's quite a point to start at.
There also the year of John Coffey and the two dead girls.
Yeah, what an incredible story, and a horrible story in many ways, to have to carry with you for so long. There's going to be some beeping or dropping out audio here. I can already tell. Just Percy. Not yet, but I'll get there, I'm sure. Those who know, know. And anyone here watching knows. Actor deserves a lot of credit for playing such a horrible freaking character. Yeah, that is a look of some pretty excruciating pain.
Well, isn't it? Christ, give me a minute.
He's trying to be sensitive about it. He's a good friend, but I still got a job to do.
Damn. They're riding on the axle. What do they do? They bust the springs?
This is always a great effect. He thinks there's something wrong with the truck. Nope. Just something about who's in it. That's some great visual storytelling there.
Dead man walking.
This is one of the things I've always wondered. I know this actor playing Percy is smaller. And Michael Clarke Duncan's a big man, but I don't think he was that much bigger than all these guys. So I wonder if they did things to make him look even bigger.
Dead man! Dead man walking! We got a dead man!
Shut the f*** up, Percy. You're already on the mile.
We got a dead man walking here.
Percy, it's enough.
Idiot. What a small, pathetic person already. And I don't mean small as far as him being short. Yeah, he's big. All right, get over it.
Can you talk?
I don't know how they would make him look bigger, so maybe he's just that big. I mean, I don't think Tom Hanks is a short man.
Move your ass. Let's go.
Jeez, man. You have to give him credit for doing such a good job playing so freaking terrible.
Why don't you go see if they can use some help?
Yeah, fuck off, Percy.
They got all the men they need.
Why don't you just go and make sure? I don't care where you go, Percy, just as long as it's not here at this very moment.
Yeah, I understand he's an entitled little jerk, but that guy's still your boss and he told you to go do something. You don't get to say, Just
God damn it, Percy, get the hell off my block!
Just a miserable little fucking, I don't know. I run out of words how to describe Percy in a very short period of time.
I'll let Harry take those chains off you. You gonna be nice.
They make him look like he's got like a foot on Tom Hanks. Look at this guy right here. They look like they come up to his chest. Again, Michael Clarke Duncan was a big guy, but I don't know about him being that big.
Questions?
Do you leave the light on after bedtime? Because I get a little scared in the dark sometimes.
He's just so immediately endearing. You don't get any sense of, despite his size, you don't get any sense of threat from him right off the bat. He's just way too sweet for that.
Stays pretty bright around here all night long.
You immediately want to help him. You immediately get the sense of him being a gentle person. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to quit guessing. I know it's going to drive you guys crazy, but let me know if you know. If they did something to make him seem even bigger.
I couldn't help it, boss. I tried to take it back, but it was too late.
Yeah, maybe is trying to read as somebody who's just scared about being in jail or about being on death row, but his read's different for some reason. And I know that comment speaks to it. They don't know what it means yet, but...
Imbecile or not, he deserves to fry for what he done. Make your blood curdle.
Yeah, it's tough, especially if you don't know any better. A situation where innocent children are harmed or, in this case, killed. Just every parent's worst nightmare, just a lot of people's worst nightmare. And to be set up for it, or have it pinned on you and have no way to prove otherwise.
Papa, look! Daddy's blood!
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a hard situation to be in, for sure, for everyone.
Central? Oh God, please! Somebody took my little girls!
It's what makes it even harder later on with this family, even though what they're saying hurts so much. And you know it's wrong. You can't blame them. How could you ever explain it to them where they would understand or believe you? I mean, maybe if you could have touched them or something to show them the truth. This is it's just a horrific scene. to happen upon him there, covered in blood,
Jesus.
holding two bloody corpses of two young girls, and screaming, crying. What else would you think? It's just one of the most horrific things you could happen upon like that. Most horrific things you could experience.
I tried to take it back, but it was too late.
You under arrest for murder.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. Although, again, under circumstances.
I interrupt? Just about done.
This is another one. Jesus, they just rip your heart out in so many ways in this movie, don't they?
How's that pretty gal of yours?
Linda's not so well, Paul.
Can see it in his face already. Don't even have to hear it from him.
I'll be taking over to Vicksburg next day or so for some tests. She is scared to death.
That's gonna get me later, too. Maybe I'll tell you why. Maybe not.
True, you ordered Percy Wetmore off the block?
Damn right it is. It's a piece of garbage.
Little Percy calls his aunt, wheels like a schoolroom sissy.
Yeah, so that means he gets to do whatever the hell he wants just because he wants to play prison guard.
He also mentioned broke 3 fingers in Edward Delacroix's left hand.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, don't imagine he would have any interest in telling that part, would he?
I have it on good authority. Percy has an application in a Briar Ridge.
The mental hospital.
Oh, great. This was one of the parts that always was kind of a mixed bag, too. It's like, yeah, you want Paul to be free of him, but great. Percy's going to go abuse mentally handicapped people.
Hell, with his connections, he could have any state job he wants. I think he just wants to see one cook up close.
Yeah, he's sick enough to be that kind of person. It's probably exactly the reason he's there.
How? You give Melinda my love, okay? Sure that X-ray turned out to be nothing at all.
He's a good friend. You can tell that they have a long history together, aside from that guy presumably being his boss. It's not to even just worry about something, it's dread that something is seriously wrong. You can just see it on him. I don't know that actor's name, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff too.
Why don't you come to bed? I think I have something up your sleeve.
That's quite an offer.
Still got something wrong with my waterworks.
Yeah, if he was operating at full strength, maybe that would be a bit more enticing. Probably just sounds like pain, unfortunately.
Right there.
It ain't normal for a mouse to come up on people this way.
You would figure that they wouldn't necessarily normally come up on people like that. They'd probably be too scared. Gutsy mouse.
Oh, Bill, no. Just want to see what it'll do.
I'm going to go ahead and say he'll probably eat it. Rabid mouse. Right in the neck. I imagine this is pretty exciting around a place like this where there's not really much to do. Yeah, he got what he needed. Going back to where he's holed up in there.
He's in the damn restraint room, and you just know he's chewing the padding out of the walls.
Now, saying things like that is what makes you have to do something like this. Probably should have kept his mouth shut. All of that to find a little mouse. Maybe it's time to clear out the room. Just like quit using it as a storage room, you know? That's just pure frustration right there after you pull everything out of there.
You let him get past you. No, I did not. I've been here all the time. Where the hell is he?
Rabid mouse. Right in the neck.
Outsmarted by a mouse.
You know, sometimes in life, things like this happen that just make you... There's nothing else for it to do except make you feel stupid. Yeah, you got the run of the place. It's a cute mouse. I don't know if mice are usually that cute in the wild. Seems like they'd be a little bit more ragged, having to fend for themselves, you know. Dale sees him for the first time. Falls in love.
You little son of a bitch.
Just aggressive right off the bat.
There he is.
That's a goddamn mouse.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up. Way to point out the obvious, buddy.
Give him some room, Percy. See what he does.
All right.
Yeah, he'll give him all kinds of room. Till he has a freaking tantrum. How can you look at a little mouse eating like that and have like this kind of aggression toward it? It's just a psychopath.
I'm gonna stop your life now.
There just aren't words for how messed up this guy is.
Percy met your mouse. I'm going to squish, you little son of a bitch. We already tried that.
Yeah, that don't help him. Yeah, let him be an idiot.
Knock yourself out. Hope you nail the bastard.
There you go. Let him prove what a moron he is.
Percy, you want to think about what you were doing just now?
Yeah, you freaking idiot. You're psychotic, Percy.
You'd be better to think of this place like as an intensive care ward of a hospital.
I think of it as a bucket of piss to drown rats in.
Such a small, pathetic person, desperate to be seen as big and tough by people, which is exactly what he's not.
You
You be on the bread lines before the week is out.
See, even in that moment, it has to be a threat that I could get you fired.
You ever threaten a man on this block again, we all gonna have a go. Job be damned.
Yeah, damn right. It's exactly what you say to someone like that.
Get all this shit back in the restraint room. You are cluttering up my mind.
There's still moments like that where even though Percy wants to be the big guy that thinks he doesn't have to listen to anybody, you still have a boss and you still have to do what he says. So shut up and clean the stuff up.
Your daughter and her family are here.
We don't get to know this guy really well enough. I've seen that actor quite a few times before, but I didn't even catch his name, what his character's name is here.
His head properly shaved.
Nope, it's all dandruffy and it smells.
I will take that as a yes. Let it go on.
There's a weird bit of levity to this in that it's very real, very stark as far as them going through how it actually happens. But this guy is completely unserious and funny.
Sorry for all the bad shit I've done and never do it again, that's for sure.
Come on, Toot. You prayed enough for one day.
To my feet, walking the mile, walking the mile.
I like how he has to say what he's doing every moment that he's doing it. It's like, they can see you're walking the mile, buddy.
You have anything to say?
Yeah, I want to shit in your hat.
He's not wearing a hat, okay? So your whole thing falls apart right there.
We'll be doing this for real tomorrow night.
That's very true. And
You ever try not to laugh in church when something funny gets stuck in your head? It's the same goddamn thing.
that's very true. And that's a very good point. It's the exact moment you don't want to lose your decorum, your ability to be serious about what's happening.
Why is he putting that sponge on his head?
Conducts electricity directly to the brain, fast like a bullet. Don't ever throw the switch on a man without that.
Unfortunate, deeply, deeply unfortunate foreshadowing. But yeah, it's called humane execution. Execution is never humane in and of itself, but if it's going to happen.
Electricity shall not be passed through your body until you are dead, in accordance with state law.
I would be nervous sitting in that chair, even during a rehearsal, to have all that hooked up to you. He's still keeping relatively good humor about it.
It's a shocking experience.
He's not really taking Paul's threat very seriously. Yeah, time to do it for real. What an odd practice. A horrific practice. All of this, to have your job be in service of something as grim as taking someone's life, regardless of what it was they did.
You think if a man sincerely repents, he might get to go back to the time that was happiest for him.
I just about believe that very thing.
A lot of people believe that. He's a very comforting presence in a really hard moment like this.
Had me a young wife when I was 18. Spent our first summer in the mountains. That was my best time.
How does life go wrong from some of those moments that we wish we could go back to? A lot of gravity to that moment. Just to be in a position where you know that's about to happen. No matter how much you've tried to mentally prepare yourself for it.
Electricity shall not be passed through your body till you are dead. God have mercy on your soul.
It's got to be excruciating for these guys too, who get to know these prisoners and see them day to day, even come to like them, become friendly with them.
Roll on, too.
Regardless of how they take precautions to try to do it efficiently, do it the right way, it's still just incredibly brutal.
Again?
Just, even when it goes the way it's supposed to, you know?
Adios, Chief. Drop us a card from hell.
Percy, f*** off. Piece of shit.
He's square with the house again. Keep your goddamn hands off him.
Damn right, weaselly little bastard.
What's up his ass?
You.
You.
I knew he was going to say that, but still, that's the answer.
Why don't you just move on? Take that job at Rye Ridge.
As soon as you put me out front.
He just reveals why he's there. He's just there for disgusting voyeuristic reasons. Just sadistic.
You be ready, mate. Swear.
And if I say no?
I might just stick around for good.
Percy's the kind of guy who killed small animals when he was young for no reason other than just to hurt them.
Make me a career of this, boss.
You could make your life a living hell if he was your boss for, you know, however many years into the future. I don't remember this part. I remember John crying on his own in his cell.
You are not going to believe this.
Yeah, you probably won't, but it's at least a positive moment on the Green Mile.
Look, I done tame me that mouse.
Dale and his friend finally meet, officially.
Watch what he do.
Hey, you got nothing but time. You got a mouse to play with?
He's smart, Mr. Jingles.
And we have his name, Mr. Jangles.
Want to see what else he can do? Watch.
He's taught him a lot of tricks for not having him in there for very long.
Play fetch. Watch.
He could do the spool thing right off the bat. That's just cute.
You fetch it every time.
Like he a circus mouse.
John's got good vision to be able to see from that far away.
Looks like you found yourself a new friend there, Dale.
Don't hate him.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him for a moment.
We ought to find a cigar box, get some cotton batting from the dispensary to line it with.
Percy trying to pretend to be nice to be able to be put out front.
Yeah, that should do real nice.
Yeah, he's not even good at pretending. It's not even just that it seems odd. He doesn't know how to act like a regular person. Oh, I remember what this is.
Al, you want to see me?
He could see it right off the bat. Look at him. He saw it before he turned around.
You got a new prisoner coming in here tomorrow. Killed 3 people in the holdup. One of them a pregnant woman.
It's just the undercurrent of what's actually going on in this scene, as opposed to what he's talking about. He's not even really listening to him about the thing.
It's a tumor, Paul. A brain tumor.
Doesn't matter how many times I see that moment. Really doesn't.
Deep inside, where they can't operate.
What a terrifying and helpless feeling.
I can't think how to tell my wife she's going to die.
How could you ever think about how to tell someone you love that? What's the good way to ever do something like that? Yeah. Whenever you have somebody that you're going to lose, or other people around you are losing somebody, makes you look at the people you have closer. Try and imagine what it would be like if that happened to you. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty desperate. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm somebody who just runs to the doctor for everything either, but this is getting ridiculous. And that sucks, the old outhouse situation where you don't even have a toilet in the house to use. Just built up so tight that he couldn't hold it anymore, I guess.
Oh, God.
So much pain.
Oh, God.
I mean, relief that he got some out, I'm sure, but...
See Dr. Bishop. I'm going.
Yeah. After that experience, I would say so. He does not look like anyone's home.
William Wharton?
Yeah, he's putting on a good show there.
You've been declared competent, son. Means you're gonna ride the lightning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Percy's going to be great with mental hospital patients. You can already see the abuse even before it happens.
Boss, you don't look so good.
That's what you want to hear in a moment like that, Dale. Thanks a lot. Come out of the bathroom looking like garbage, and someone looks at you and says, "Hey, you look like garbage." And it's quite a performance for him to keep up this whole way. John seems to have a sense. I kind of like that they never fully explain what his powers are, but he seems to have a sense about when things are going to happen. With this, he played like that the whole way there. Is this an escape attempt, or is he just trying to cause havoc, or what? Ooh. That is the last thing he needed in that moment.
Come on, shoot! Shut up! Hit it, Percy!
Yeah, big man, Percy. Except when people need you. Freaking coward.
Come on, Percy! Morton! Woman down! You want it?
Yeah. Bruto has to come take your damn stick and do it for you.
Well, come on!
Real tough man, Percy. Sitting there strangling your coworker to death. Your fellow guard.
We could see it coming. We thought he was doped.
Yeah, well, fair assessment based on how he acted.
You didn't ask.
But yeah, you definitely ought to have verified it.
Percy, you make the report to the warden for me. Start out by saying the situation is under control. It's not a story. He will not appreciate you drawing out the suspense.
That might be the only time Percy's taken an order and not given crap back for it. He seemed pretty shaken up, so he actually did what he was supposed to for once. Oh, geez, Paul. Just feel like he's dying, I'm sure.
Boss,
It's a bad moment, John.
This is not a good time, John Coffey.
I mean, if there's ever an international sign for distress.
What do you want, John Coffey?
Just to help.
Now, I know, because, I've seen this movie, but that would be a pretty terrifying moment, especially with where he's grabbing. And this is where we have liftoff, folks. The first sign of anything in this movie that's beyond this world. John not only did that, but he did it like someone who's done something like that before. That's a movie I'd really like to see, or if there was something written, a story, a novel, something, a prequel to this. How John came to be, how he got this power or discovered this power. I love the mystery of this movie as far as his power goes, but there's a curiosity in me about it that it'd be nice if a different story could satisfy that.
What did you just do to me?
I helped it.
I think you can already feel what he did to you.
Awful tired, now, boss. The whole time.
Yeah, he just put himself through some pretty uncomfortable things he didn't have to for your benefit, so. But this is also the first moment that he realizes what he meant by saying that when he got there. Or starts to, anyway. This whole experience. He knows the pain's magically gone, but he doesn't know what to believe. Just the sound of him peeing. And that look of relief on his face. Like a religious experience. The man touched me and cleared up my bladder infection. Things about to get steamy. You know it. I know it. He knows it. She might not yet.
What did the doctor say?
It's so well earned because of how much he was suffering. And how worried she was about him.
Yeah, let's do tonight.
I don't know if he's worried about what you guys are having for dinner.
What are you doing?
I don't think it takes very much to put that together.
What does it feel like?
Well, I know what it feels like.
Hey, she's got a fair position. She's like, don't be teasing me if you can't back it up, mister. I'm just thinking about her quote later on. He was all better.
Not that I'm complaining. Going 4 times in one night since we were 19.
Yeah, that's quite a marathon for anybody.
I never actually made it into Dr. Bishop's yesterday.
Well, that just makes it more confusing for her. Might need a little more context there.
I'm thinking of taking the morning off sick. You cover the fort for me?
He's thinking of taking the morning off sick to go for 5, 6, and 7.
You're sure you ought to do this?
I'm not sure what I'm sure of.
Yeah, they don't show us, but he's already told her by then. I guess she imagines there wouldn't be any reason he'd lie to her about that.
Mr. Hammersmith, your office said I might find you at home today. I'm E-Block supervisor up on Coal Mountain.
Reunion of Forrest and Lieutenant Dan. Little Gary Sinise for you.
Which client?
John Coffey.
Coffee.
So I'm assuming this guy is some kind of public defender or something like that. Can't imagine John had a lot of money for a lawyer.
Thank you, Mrs.
My pleasure.
She looks familiar to me. I just got a flash that she was in Fight Club. Wonder if she was.
Like he dropped out of the sky. People are drifting by the thousands looking for jobs. When a giant like Coffee wouldn't get noticed everywhere you go.
I imagine it was a lot easier to fly under the radar back in those days, obviously. There weren't as many ways to track people.
You didn't come up here to ask me whether he might have killed before. You came up here to see if I think he did it at all.
Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't really seem to fit.
One seldom sees a less ambiguous case. He was found with the victims in his arms.
It was a pretty damning scene. Just because he had the girls with him doesn't mean he killed them, but it was hard, based on what it looked like, to think much else. I have to give him that.
We had us a dog. Just a sweet mongrel. You know the kind.
Yeah. Appreciate the overt racism in this story.
He still has the one good eye.
That is a horrible way for a kid to be scarred enough to live the rest of his life.
That dog attacked my boy for no reason. Just got it in his mind one day. Same with John Coffey.
Yeah, you're talking about a man, not a dog. It's quite a different situation.
Don't you doubt it. And don't you turn your back on him. In the end, you'll get bit.
I understand the overall message about be careful. These are dangerous people. You never know what they'll do. But there was all kinds of just insulting and demeaning things packed into that conversation, that story.
Smelling me some cornbread.
It's got to smell pretty damn good there.
She wanted to thank you.
Thank me for what?
She want to thank you for an awful lot, John. Come on, don't make him spell it out.
Oh.
That hand motion.
Was your missus pleased?
Several times.
Very much so. Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be quite a bit better than what they normally get to eat in there.
Oh,
that looks good.
Girl, I surely can.
I love cornbread. That looks good.
This for deal, Mr. Jenkins.
What about me?
What about you? I don't think you get shit.
I think I'll just keep the rest
Yeah, good for you, John.
Courtesy of the gentleman across the way.
He doesn't get to be crazy and horrible to people and then think he gets something.
I thank you. Mr. Jingle, thank you. My mama thank you too, but she dead.
My mama thank you too, but she's dead.
You'll keep a civil tongue on my block.
And so the battle with the guards begins.
You get that one for free. That's the last one.
I'm surprised he didn't try it again. Right immediately right there. Yeah, he's just...
Believe this?
Yeah, unfortunately I can believe it. He's got nothing else to do, and he's a disgusting human being. So yeah, I can believe it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, be careful with that. What's it now, moving day?
He's just desperate. It's like a little kid who's desperate for attention, you know? All he ever got was negative attention.
Come in here on your legs, because you go out on your backs. Guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think you might not have calculated for something.
Piss on me.
Yeah, I think he might win. That's considerably worse. I mean, it's just water, but I imagine it hurt. Look, he recovered. Miraculous.
All I want me is a little cornbread.
Yeah, well, you didn't get any. And then you acted like that, so here you are.
I'll learn my lesson. I'll be good.
I doubt it. Sam Rockwell is great, though.
Psst. Give you a nickel for that moon pie.
How's he still got money on him? Just figured he'd have lost everything when they took him in. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
It was pretty original. Gotta give him that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in a real, comedic mood about it when it's still on his face, all over his clothes.
It's a big day for you and Mr. Jingles.
What you talking about?
Important folks heard about your mouse. Want to see him perform.
This is a really sweet thing they do for him. I mean, I know why they're doing it to practice and everything, but, give him this last little thing before it's his time.
Knock him for a loop.
You knock him for a loop, yeah. It's like Mr. Harris says.
Look how proud he is. He's excited. Mr. Jangle's going to have a show.
All right, let's move briskly, folks. There's not much time.
Who is this guy? Is this guy another prisoner, or is he... I've always thought he was just like a janitor or something that was helping him.
I've been fixing the plumbing here for 10 years. Ain't never had to wear no damn tie before.
They orchestrate this whole thing for him. And we don't even get to see the show. Imagine the amazing show Dale put together with Mr. Jangles. His only performance.
Electricity shall now be passed through your body until you are dead. God have mercy on your soul.
This whole thing is just a nightmare. He shows how truly horrible he is. Because he knows what he's supposed to do. He knows how to do it right. He's proven it right now.
Very good. Very professional.
So it's an active choice for him to be horrible later.
So? Oh, I love Mr. Jingles.
Well, that's just aces.
Yeah. There's something sadistic about this, too, when he's training for his execution. And we know who he really is. See? He just couldn't help himself.
Percy, you shit.
That's how you can tell the rest of it's such an act. I mean, aside from being pretty obvious as an act. And then as though it's just instant karma. Billy takes it pretty far.
I was just playing. Nothing
These are the two most horrible people in this movie. It'd normally be cruel to laugh at somebody for something like that, but he's been so terrible to everybody, especially Dell.
Somebody touch him, he make water in his pants like a little baby.
Yeah, he did a little more than touch him, Dell. I don't make a habit of sticking up for Percy, but
You talk about this to anyone, I get you all fired.
it does make me wonder now, watching this again, is it possible that Percy was actually trying, and then that happening to him and Dale laughing at him set him back on this path of rage that he had before?
You just keep on laughing.
Seemed like it was just an act. Like it was just an act to get on their good side about putting him out front. Maybe he was actually trying. I don't know. I guess it's up to interpretation.
What about Duncan? He's got a little boy. He'd love to have a pet mouse, I bet.
How could a boy be trusted, Mrs. Jenkins? Maybe forget to feed him.
It's his last thing to make sure of before he goes is that Mr. Jangle's going to be okay. Sweet. He actually has a loved one to care for.
I'll take him there. Me.
Merci beaucoup, thank you kindly, but you live out in the woods.
You're being awful picky, Dell. They're trying to find someone for you. Shooting down all the options.
How about Mouseville?
Yeah. Finally had to make something up.
Toys R Us down in Florida.
Yeah, Tallahassee.
Paul and Brutal are freestyling.
This big tent you're going to.
You have to pay.
Well, you shit me, cause you pay.
Coming up with this all on the spot.
Yeah, this mine's a swing on trapeze. Mine's the roll barrels. It's that coins.
He's doing a good job selling this.
That's the blade for Mr. Jenkins.
It's a beautiful thing to give to him.
You're gonna be as sick as a mouse.
Being able to imagine this future for this mouse that he briefly had in his life.
Oh, there you go.
Which makes this even more horrific.
No!
F*** you, Percy. The blood-curdling scream from Dell. You feel that scream.
You fucking cruel bastard!
Yeah, there's not really much of another way to describe that. Now they'll all get to see.
Getting the maid might still be time.
Yeah, this has got to be really confusing for them since they have no idea what Paul's doing.
What are you doing?
But Paul saw it happen, felt it happen.
What the hell?
What do you have to lose, Brutal? Just watch.
Please, Johnny, help him.
Look at the tail.
It's a pretty astounding thing to see right in front of you, I would imagine. They do this so well. They sell it as this real tactile thing that you can feel happening in front of you. And they don't answer a bunch of questions about it because your mind fills in the rest. Just really strike that balance really well to make it feel real. That's the part that's probably that's like the kind of toughest to take, but it makes sense. Whatever the bad thing is, he absorbs it and expels it back out. In this case, the bad thing being the death of Mr. Jangle. Now Paul knows pretty much for certain what he was trying to do with those two girls. But how could you ever explain that to people? Wow.
What did you do? I hit Dale's mouse. Boss Percy bad. He stepped on Dale's mouse. Took it back to him.
John is just the kindest and most selfless presence any of them could ever encounter. There's just no other way to describe him. Welcome to the end of part 1. Where's the rest of the reaction, you might say? Well, that's conveniently located right here in part 2. You know, I was really concerned about pointing to the wrong spot for part 2, but I think we both can see that I nailed it.